Hey, it's your girl MJ, and today I'm going to be giving you tips and tricks to how to survive the holiday season with all of the crowds and chaos. Get yourself a snack and a drink, relax, and let's get started. So first, we're going to be talking about crowds. Before we step into a crowd with no plan, we need to backtrack. This is something we need to get used to, build a resistance to, just like exercise. Subjecting ourselves to uncomfortable situations like crowds should always start in small doses. Always go with someone that can help you navigate. In my case, I was lucky. I started this practice at a young age. My parents took me everywhere. Crowded family gatherings, parties, supermarkets. You name it, I did it. But they never had any intention of making me stay. It would be very short bursts on a regular basis, so my brain could adjust, creating new connections. This is called neuroplasticity. I believe this is called neuroplasticity. It was hard for my parents leaving family events so quickly. This can put a strain on relationships when family and friends don't understand. But now you could just refer them to this video so they can understand a little better. You could start this practice at any time, at any age. Be sure to start out with the intent of it being really quick. A shopping area like a craft fair is a really good idea because you could leave at any time. A concert is not the best idea because you could get stuck in the crowd. So choose the crowded places wisely. Before we move on, I would like to say that I have autism, and this video is made for other people that have autism, as well as family members of those who have autism, and anyone else that wants to understand more. Having difficulty with speech and communication is one of my challenges, so making these videos is difficult for me. But I'm pushing through because I feel like it's very important to get my messages across. So thank you so much for your patience and understanding. Now let's continue. Our next topic is tools. It is important to remember to have a good set of tools. The first thing I want to suggest is doing relaxing activities that feel good to you, such as a warm bath, yoga, or breath work. Breath work is as simple as doing a deep breath through your nose and out through your mouth like this. These activities help bring down our nervous system so we can step into new territory. Once you are at your destination, it is important to remember to bring headphones because crowds are loud. So these are the headphones I use. I mainly use these for practicing drums, and they work really well at blocking sounds. For extremely loud occasions like 4th of July and fireworks, these are great. As you walk through the crowds, focus on taking deep breaths, distract yourself by looking at interesting things, and most importantly, know your limits. If you want something a little smaller, I also carry these around. So these mini headphones, they're not noticeable when you have them in your ear. I use these in school, especially during band when it's really loud. When that stress level starts to rise, count to 10 and find the nearest exit. Let's talk restaurants. This was an acquired thing for me. I used to be very resistant to going out to eat and it took a lot of exposure. If you are not used to going to a restaurant, I'd make sure that you are going with supportive people that are willing to take an order of food to go with little notice, just in case things get difficult. Because if it's really unmanageable, you can always leave, after paying your bill at least. Next, have a shoulder to lean on. I mean that figuratively and literally. My dad is great for that. If the wait time is hard, plan to bring an iPad or a doodle pad, or if you're like me and the sounds of background chat are bothersome, I just stream some music to drown out the sounds. So I use these to plug into my headphones, stream some Avenged Sevenfold or whatever. Once you are comfortable with all this, I recommend taking all tools, music, iPads, or whatever you're using, and try to take time to engage in conversation, or even just listen. Because too much technology isn't great either. It's all about finding a balance. Understand that being at a restaurant when you're on the spectrum, with no tools and actually engaging in conversation, takes next level supersonic superhero skills. So please only do what you can. This is all about growth and not torturing yourself. And keep in mind, you're already a superhero just for trying. My mom always told me, success is not in the result, but it is in the trying. Next up is motivation. In order to put ourselves in an uncomfortable situation, we need one thing: motivation. Otherwise, why in the world would we subject ourselves to this kind of suffering? For me, it's easy. My motivation is good food and shopping. I'm a collector of animal figurines, so if I think I'm gonna see that stuff, I'm all in. Another thing is music. During my performances, I'm able to tolerate some crowds as a musician because of this motivation. Specifically when I play drums at a show. They can be very crowded, but I love the music so much and that's my motivation. But this is a holiday video, so we can talk about music another time. And here's my last tip. Go somewhere beautiful. During the holidays, it's pretty easy to do. If you're not ready for crowds, go early. Find a spot to walk through where there's more space. In a few places, they'll set up the tree before it's lit. In my town, before they light it, it's usually less crowded. So that's the ideal time for me to visit. And if you accidentally get caught in a little bit of a jam, meaning a crowd, just take a deep breath, stay calm, and work your way out. When all your activities are done, make sure to find some relaxing time for yourself. Well, that's it for this video. Thanks for joining me. I wish you all a happy holiday season. Bye!